this meeting to record. That way, when the meeting is over, if you would like, you can get a copy of this class sent directly to you, the actual class that you just attended. You should now be able to see my screen. It's the light blue screen with the Transcend toolbar running across the top. Can everybody see that?
Yep.
Okay, this is essentially what we call the advanced class, and the advanced class essentially focuses on those items that most people who are familiar with the software are unfamiliar with. So things in the software that most people don't know actually exist. So the first thing that we're going to be talking about is social analytics. And this is part of your software. However, it must be set up. And what I mean by that is it's not part of your software until you request it. And when you request it, there has to be a little bit of work done on our end as well as yours, because we need to have access to your social media accounts. And we do that through Darcy. Let me go ahead and talk about that very quickly. I'm going to go to Reports. And from Reports, I'm going to go to Graphs. And from Graphs, I have Social Analytics. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And that brings up this window. Right now it's saying you're not authorized for this service. Please call, and then our telephone number is up here. And that's what you're going to see until you've got it activated. What it's going to look like once it's activated is something like this. So once your account is activated, what it's doing is the social analytics screen is allowing you to see what's working for you and what's not based on your Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, things like that. It's brought to you by Social Beautify, and if you want to contact them directly, you certainly are welcome to. Very simply, it's socialbeautify.com. And I'm going to go ahead and just very briefly explain this to you. You would be taught exactly what to look for, but essentially what this does is it shows you your demographics, what you're posting on Facebook, what you're posting on Instagram, what you're posting on Twitter, what's working and what's not working, and who it's working with by age, by sex, those items. For instance, here I've got this one, Did You Know? And this reached 261 people. And this one, Like a Movie Star, 255. If I scroll down through that, I've also got this one here regarding classes, 115 people. So that's less than half what this one got. So what we want to do sometimes is focus on what is getting people engaged and what's not, what cities they're coming from, etc. That's all listed for you as well. So again, it allows you to see your social media interactions with your customers, things like likes and shares, comments, etc. That's all part of engagement. And of course, engagement is incredibly important to not only build the number of people that are following you, but in the end, getting them to walk through your doors. So that's social analytics. And again, it can be found by going to Reports and then Graphs and then Social Analytics. And all you need to do is contact sales@prosolutionssoftware.com and ask that that be set up for you, and it will be. Okay, the next thing that we're going to talk about is emailing staff. Now, in the Darcy system, Darcy does several things for the staff. For instance, she will email the schedule every night to your staff. Not everybody's schedule, just their schedule, so that they can see what they have the following day. Also, she can email a report that shows what they got credit for that day. She can do that every night as well. She can even contact them every time an appointment is booked, unbooked, or rescheduled. But that's not all she can do via email. For instance, I can just want to send a message directly to them. And I can do this one of two ways. I can go to Setup and go into my employee files. I can go to any employee. There, as long as you've got their email address on file and Darcy's up and running, this is going to work just fine for you. And what you do is you just click on this button that says Message. This allows you then to write a subject and write a message and hit Send. And it will send an email from the business directly to that staff member. I can also, while I'm in here, hit Select All. And then it will go to every one of your staff members. I can also deselect certain people if I want to send this to a group of my staff members, but maybe not to others, whatever that message may be. So I can send it to an individual, or I can send it across to everybody or to groups of people. So this allows me to do things like, hey, don't forget about our Friday meeting, or something like that that you want to send to everybody, or maybe just to a single person that might say something to the effect of, you know, oh, I don't know, you left your glasses here last night, whatever it may be. But that's a way to simply click on message and send a direct message either to Christian or to everybody. You can also do that in the appointment book. So, whoops, not in clients, in the appointment book. I can go to any one of my staff members, right-click on them, and select email. Again, same thing, exactly the same thing. Their email address automatically populates. You type in the subject and the message and hit send. You want to send it to additional people? Simply check their names or select all. So that's a direct communication with your staff member through the software. Now, there is also the ability for you to email clients. It's similar. It's not exactly the same. Let me tell you what I mean. I'm going to pull up Miss Michelle Babcock here because I use her for everything. And we've got a button here that says message. So I can click on this and I can type a subject, type a message, and hit send. Notice there is no select all. So I'm only sending this directly to my client, nobody else. Not a group of clients, just this client. You want to send emails directly to a group of clients? You do that through marketing. This is just a one-way, or actually two-way, because they can respond, of course. But this is the ability for you to send a direct message to that one particular customer. Another difference between sending it to your staff and sending it to your customer, when you send it to your staff, it will just have the subject and the message that you want to send out. If you're sending it to a customer, it will include your logo and your social networking icons. So it's a little bit nicer looking when it's going out to your customers. Okay, the next thing that we're going to be talking about is, excuse me, the activity button in inventory. But before we do that, do we have any questions on anything that I've covered so far? Okay, and I'll take the silence as no question. The next thing that we're going, go ahead.
Sorry,
go ahead.
my thing was on mute.
No problem.
You went into that screen or whatever for the staff and letting them know like when they have appointments and all. Sorry, where did you go for that?
Sure. Okay. I wouldn't necessarily do it to let them know they have an appointment. There's a better way to do it that way. But
okay.
I can go to Setup,
okay.
Operator Files, and I can choose a particular person and go to Message. That way I can send an email out. Also, if I'm in the appointment book, I could right-click on their name up top and say email and do the same thing. Now, when I say there's a better way to do it, remember, I was talking about sending an email to them to let them know that you have booked an appointment for them, unbooked an appointment for them, or rescheduled. And that is done through Darcy. In Darcy, I have my notifications right here. This little box right here that says email operator when booked, unbooked, and it should say or rescheduled because it does all three. If that's checked, whenever I book an appointment or unbook an appointment or reschedule an appointment, then that particular staff member will get an instant email letting them know what changes you've made to their appointment book.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to, because the girls, they utilize that very well for them. So I just wanted to make sure. I just didn't know where you went for that. But now
that's where that's it, and you'll learn more about that in the Darcy class.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the features of Darcy, and one of the features that people seem to like, especially if you have booth renters or independent contractors, and you may not, and that's fine. They might like it anyway, but you'd be surprised how much booth renters and independent contractors like to be notified every time there's a change to their book. So that's a really effective tool there. All right, so the next thing we're going to be talking about then is, excuse me, the activity button in inventory. So I'm going to go to inventory, and you'll notice there's a button here that says activity right there, center top, activity. Any product that I go into will have that button. So here I'm looking at my Just an All-in-One shampoo. And if I click on my activity button, it shows me everything going on with that particular product. And what I mean by that is, if I've got all selected, which is what it defaults to, I can see every purchase order that was received for that product, every point of sale, every manual adjustment. When I say point of sale, of course, I'm talking about an actual sale. Your beginning balance, any deletions of the product, anything at all, that's all going to be listed here under your activity. That's under all. Now, when I select received only, I will get a list of my purchase orders that this product was received on. If I say sales only, then I will show every sale that was made of this product. And you'll notice the question mark where it says by whom. This question mark simply tells you that you were not using password protection for an actual sale, and that's fine. You'll just have the question mark. If you were using password protection, then it might look like this, so that you know exactly who it was that actually did that sale. So I had password protection turned on, obviously, on June 8th of 2010, but it was turned off shortly after that, which is why I've got so many question marks. So that, whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. The next thing was returns only. If there was a merchandise return done on this product, that will also be recorded. And again, if you've got password protection on that, it will also say by whom. And then finally, we have adjustments. Adjustments is when you actually make a physical manual adjustment to your totals. So you say, hey, I just did a count. I don't have 16 of these. I have 18. So you add 2 by hand, and by adding that, it will keep a record of it showing that you have, in fact, made a manual adjustment. So adjustments, merchandise returns, sales, and purchase orders received, and all. So that's the activity button in every product. Every product has that. So it's a glimpse of what that product's been doing. Okay. Any questions on the activity button before we continue?
No, I'm good.
All right. The next thing that we're going to talk about then is the month view. Now, everybody's familiar with the day view screen, booking appointments in the day view screen, or booking appointments in the week view screen, something like this. I think we've discussed this in the past as well with the two of you. But now what we're going to talk about is the month view screen. Now, you can get to that from the appointment book by selecting month view. And there's the month view window. I can also, from the main menu, go to appointments and select month view. And there it is again. Even if I'm in sales, I can go to book appointments and choose month view, and there's my window again. So what is it and how does it work? I'm going to go to appointments, and I'm going to go to month view. There's my window. Now, I have a list of all of the days that my business is open during this particular month. I can change the month. I can go to, for instance, go to December. And again, I've got the list of all of the days that my business is open. Notice I'm closed on Sundays, so Sundays are all grayed out. Let's go back to November. Again, Sundays are all grayed out. Now watch what happens when I choose a person. I get to choose an operator, and I'm going to say someone like Ashley here. You may have noticed that Wednesday and Thursday just grayed out, and of course Sundays because we're closed, leaving only the days that she can be booked. And it starts in italics with the day that you're currently on. Excuse me. So when you choose somebody, their schedule will change what you're looking at. So now I chose Christian. He does work Wednesdays and Thursdays, so they're black again. Now let's pretend, now I'm using sample data and I've got wide open appointment books, so this isn't probably going to happen, but let's pretend that on the 8th, Wednesday the 8th, Christian is really busy, but he has a couple of half-hour openings. Well, if that was the case, the 8th would still be black because he has a couple of half-hour openings that I could book in. But when I choose a service, if I choose something like, let's go with the Dakarah and haircut here, that's an hour and 45 minutes long. If he doesn't have a full hour and 45 minutes available on the 8th, then the 8th would have just grayed out. Any days that he doesn't have that much time available in one session, those days will gray out, leaving you with just the days, again, that he could do that service. I could choose another one as well. So more than one service, like a Brazilian blowout here. So now he needs a total of 3 hours. And if he doesn't have a total of 3 hours available on any of these days, they would have grayed out. The important thing to note here is that what's happening is you're always left with the days that he can do those services. So again, appointments, month view, here's my month that I'm in. I can see all the days I can book. Then I choose somebody. And Caroline I chose. Saturdays just grayed out because she doesn't work Saturdays. Kathy, Saturdays have just gone back to black because she can work Saturdays. Then I can choose a service, like, for instance, a Dakarah with haircut. Any other days that she could not perform this much time together, those days would also have grayed out. Then I can choose a day that is still black. And when I do that, it will show me the available times. There may only be one time, and something like 3 o'clock or 3:30, maybe the only time available. And so it's an easy way for you to just click on a day, see the times available, and tell your customer, well, on the 9th, Kathy could see you at 11, or she could see you at 12:45, but no other times. Or maybe it's like this, where they're just wide open. Well, what time would you be interested in? So maybe they want 11 o'clock. We'll go with 11 o'clock here. Now I can pull up my customer and their type, just like I do whenever I book an appointment. So I'll choose Keith Epstein here. Now we're doing a woman's haircut, so let's try Elizabeth Eaton instead. So there's Miss Eaton, and she asked for Kathy, so she's a request. So I'm going to go ahead and book it. So now this is Thursday, November 9th, 2017 at 11 a.m. for an Dakarah with haircut with Kathy for Elizabeth Eaton. all set up, and book it. The appointment has been booked. So let's take a look, shall we? Let's go to our book, and let's go to the 9th. And we should be able to find that appointment. See the rest of my people here. Where are the people? Oh, I'm on the 7th. I'm sorry. I said the 9th. There we go. There's the 9th. And so now we can find that appointment that we just booked. And I did that with Kathy, didn't I? Do I not have Kathy showing? Kathy, where are you? Okay, so just so you know, by the way, this is a good thing I'm glad that this actually happened because it gives me an opportunity to show you this. I can set my display order, and anybody who may not actually be showing, I can get them on the list. I can choose and in what order I want them to appear. So I've got Kathy, and I did for her a women's haircut, if I'm not mistaken. So let's go to my hair services here. And there's Kathy, okay. And I'm looking at November 9th. Who do you remember who I booked that for? What the name of the woman was that Elizabeth Eaton.
Elizabeth.
Right? Elizabeth Eaton. So let's find that. Hang on. November 9th at 11 o'clock with Kathy for an anti-curl. All right, so let's go to our hair group. And let's find Kathy. And there's Elizabeth Eaton for an anti-curl with haircut. All set up at 11 o'clock, so it worked just fine. I don't have her on my all groups, but when I went to hair, there she was. I could add her to my all groups, of course, but when I went to my hair group, there she is. There's the appointment. It worked just fine. Exactly what I wanted. Let's do it one more time. I'm going to go to appointments, going to go to my month view screen, and I'm going to choose a particular operator. This time we'll go with someone that shows up on the screen. We'll go with Christian. We'll choose a service. We'll do the same thing. We'll do we'll do a blow dry this time, an anti-curl with blow dry. We'll book that on the 10th, and we'll say that's also at 11 o'clock. Choose my customer. Let's go with James here, and choose my client type and book the appointment. So this is Friday, November 10th at 11 o'clock with Christian for James Fabiani. Book. Okay, the appointment's been booked. It says, let's take a look. And there's Christian, there's James Fabiani for an anti-curl with blow dry at 11 o'clock on Friday, November 10th. So that's using the month view screen. Now, a lot of people think, you know what, I use the day view screen, no problem. I use the week view screen, no problem. I really don't see any usage for the month view screen. You'll find, if you try using it a few times, you'll find it's an extremely quick and effective way to book appointments for somebody who wants to book them a little bit further out than what we're normally looking at. It's a really easy way to book appointments. Any question on the month view before we continue?
Nope.
All right. So then the next thing we're going to be talking about is locking and unlocking columns. Again, something that people they've got no idea. They have no, what is that? So I'm going to go down here to my nails group. And in my nails group, let's just find somebody here. We'll go with Leslie. So here's Leslie. She's one of my nail people. And let's go to waxing. Good. Perfect. No Leslie. That's what I wanted to see. As you know, when you go from group to group, it changes based on the people who can perform within that group. Well, what happens though if, let's say, I'm in something like nails, and I want to see Leslie's schedule? Maybe I booked with her, I don't know, but I want to see Leslie's schedule, and I'm about to go to the waxing group, and I know that Leslie doesn't work in that group, but I still need to see her schedule for whatever my reasons may be. Maybe, you know, I just booked an appointment with her. She's got a really busy schedule, and I need to fit something else in for waxing with somebody else, and I want to see Leslie's schedule. So all I need to do is right-click anywhere in Leslie's box and select Lock Column. By doing that, anywhere I go, Leslie will come with me. Now, I know she doesn't work in the waxing group, so watch what happens when I choose waxing. There's Leslie, because I locked her column. No matter what group I go into, yoga classes, there's Leslie. Facials, there's Leslie. Now, does that mean that she does those services? Absolutely not. It doesn't mean that. It lets me see her schedule. She does not perform waxing. If I tried to book an appointment for waxing with Leslie just because she's on my screen here, it will tell me that this operator does not perform this service. So I would have to go with somebody else. This is simply the ability for me to see her schedule while I'm booking something else. At any time, I can hit unlock, and she's gone. Now, you don't have to just lock a single column. You can lock as many columns as you like, and they will all come with you to every group until you unlock. And when you unlock, one or all will vanish unless they actually work in that group. Okay? That's locking and unlocking columns. Any questions on that before we continue? No questions? All right. So then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to refunds. Now, everybody knows how to do a refund, but a lot of people get a little bit confused about certain aspects of it. So I'm going to choose myself a sale here. We'll go with Claudia and say that she saw Christian and she got a back facial and last, and we're done. Claudia saw Christian, back facial. She owes me $65. This is a sale. Now I'm going to go up here to this refund, and I'm going to change this from gray with an X to blue with a plus sign. Does that turn this into a refund? Absolutely not, because this was pulled up under sales. However, if I pull something up now with my refund activated, it will become a refund. So I can say that the last time Claudia was here, she got a bang trim, and when she left, she looked at herself in the mirror and said, ooh, that didn't work. And so she called and she said, you know what, bang trim really doesn't look that good. I thought it looked all right when I was there, but boy, when I came home, it's a little bit lopsided. I'm not really happy with it. And you say, you know what, the next time you come in, we'll refund that for you. So we're going to go to service here. We're going to pull somebody. I don't know. Let's go with Debbie. I think she does them too. Yeah. And bang trim. Now that, because refund is blue, is now a refund. She now only owes me $50, $65 for the back facial, which was a sale, and $15 I'm giving back for the bang trim. So she only owes me $50. Also, because it's Debbie, Debbie is going to get tagged. Her commission will get tagged for that. Now I'm going to take it off of refund, and that's say she'd also like to buy from Lynn the Just an All-in-One shampoo. Then I'm going to click back on refund and say, and she would like to return the BioSilver Classic Ion. That's a $36. She now owes me $33.61. What I'm doing here by using this button, sales and refunds, sales and refunds, what I'm doing is I'm mixing and matching refunds and sales on the same ticket. A lot of people think that when you're doing a refund, it has to be its own ticket. Now, I'm going to go ahead and, well, actually, I'm not going to clear that yet. So she owes me $33.61, so when I go to payment, I'm going to accept payment any way I normally would, cash, check, credit card, etc. However, if this was a negative amount, so I'm going to remove this one item here, it's $31.39 now. She got the bang trim refunded, she got the BioSilver Classic Ion refunded, and she bought the Just an All-in-One shampoo. However, the Classic Ion and the bang trim combined are more than what she owes me for the Just an All-in-One shampoo. So she's basically getting this for free, and I owe her an additional $31.39. So I go to payment. If I wanted to give her back her cash, I simply go to cash, and it's a negative $31.39. When I process this sale for cash, it will open my drawer if I'm using an electronic drawer. If not, don't worry, you can just pop your drawer. And you're going to pull $31.39 out of the drawer and give it to her. By doing it this way, your system is aware that $31.39 has left the drawer. That transaction has been created for it. And so therefore, your drawer at the end of the day is going to be accurate because it knows that $31.39 has left it. If you don't do that, it won't know that the $31.39 has left, and your drawer will be off. You can, I can't imagine that you would ever do a refund in a check, but you can also do a refund on the credit card. If you're using the system directly built in, it looks like this, and you ask them for the same card they used, put the money back on the card. If you're not, fine. You can do the refund using their card on a separate terminal outside of the software, but you're still going to keep a record of it here. Again, so that your drawer and reporting is accurate, that you're actually less $31.39 today. If you don't process the transaction, even though it's negative, if you don't process the transaction, it will not appear in your closing, and therefore your drawer will be wrong. So it's important to note. Again, if it's a positive amount, you just go through the regular sale and clear. Any questions on that before we continue?
No.
All right. So then I believe the last time that we, and just correct me if I'm wrong, but the last time that we discussed this, we went over paid ins and paid outs. Is that right?
We did, I believe so.
Yeah, I think we did too. So we'll skip that. Unless you want me to go over it, we'll skip that. And the next thing we're going to talk about is transaction notes. So transaction notes. Let's pull up a customer here, Donna. She saw Kathy, and she got I don't know, let's go with a laser chest. She owes me $130. Okay. Now, Kathy comes up to me, and I'm the front desk guy. Kathy's an important employee there. And she says to me, you know what, actually, when I was doing the laser chest, just left it on a little bit longer in one area than I should have. She's got a little bit of redness, a little bit of soreness there. And I told her that I was going to give her $30 off. Okay. So I could apply a coupon or something like that, or I can simply modify the price. So I'm going to modify the price. I'm going to give her $30 off and accept. Now I can go ahead and accept payment for this. That's fine. $100 instead of $130. However, I know that Kathy is one of those employees who's very, very anal about her commission report. And when at the end of the week, when she gets her commission report, she's got a terrible memory. I know this from experience, and she is going to throw a fit wondering why she's getting commission on a $100 service instead of a $130 service. So what I'm going to do to protect myself is I'm going to click on notes, and I'm going to say something in here like, Kathy said 30 off because blah, 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 whatever the reason is, and accept. Now I can go ahead and process this payment. So maybe she gives me $100 in cash. All is good. Let's pull up when the problem occurs and Kathy is throwing her stink and the boss comes up to me and wants to know, why was this $130 charge turned into a $100 charge? Maybe I do, 100 transactions a day, and that was 2 weeks ago. I don't know. That was 1,500 transactions ago. I've got no idea. So I can look up the customer, and I can go into their history, and I'll see everything that they've ever had done with me, my services, my products, etc. Well, on November 6th, she saw Kathy for a laser chest, and it was $100. Why? Well, let's find out. Let's click on it, and my note appears. Kathy said 30 off because, and then the reasoning. Hopefully that jars Kathy's memory, but now at least I have an explanation. The important thing to note here is that any time a transaction is out of the ordinary, even if I apply a coupon on it, like a manager's comp for 100%, and the owner comes up to me and says, why is this zero? Well, I don't know. Why did I apply a manager's comp? Well, let's find out. If the transaction is out of the ordinary for any reason at all, you should apply a transaction note to it to explain why it's odd. That's transaction notes. And that the note follows the transaction itself, not the customer. It follows the transaction. Any questions on that before we continue?
No.
All right, so let's talk about modifying a transaction.
So, does it come up as a pop-up automatically to make a note, or you just click note?
Oh, you click notes. Yeah.
Okay.
It's not going to pop up automatically when you write. When you are going to process a transaction, you hit notes. You cannot hit notes after you have processed the transaction. That's not going to do you a lick of good. The note must be part of the transaction. So before you process their sale, that's when you hit notes, write the note, and then you process their payment. Then that note will be attached to the transaction.
In the client profile, not like.
Oh, you don't have to actually go into the client profile. So for instance, I could go to view transactions, last transaction, there it is. And then I could click on it. And there's my note. Kathy said 30 off. The point is that the note follows the transaction, not the client.
Okay.
All right. So the next thing we're going to talk about is modifying a transaction. So let's pull up a customer here. Let's go with Joanna and say that she saw Caroline. No, let's go with somebody who actually has services. She saw Kathy and got a blow dry and curl, and she saw Jessica and got a European facial. These two things, ready to go. Perhaps she also added a gratuity. So we'll go to gratuity and say 15%, distribute it, puts in, and we're even going to sell her a product. We'll sell her a BioSilva Classic brush that Jessica sold her. for $36, and we're ready to go. Okay, so she gives me cash, we'll say $200. It makes my change, and accept. Done. Now, I find out that there was a problem. I don't know what, there's a myriad of different reasons why there could have been a problem. Maybe you selected cash when they actually paid with a credit card, or maybe you chose credit card when they paid with a gift certificate or a gift card or something like that. Or maybe it wasn't Jessica who did it, or maybe it wasn't Caroline who did it, or whoever it is you chose. Or maybe it wasn't the actual service that was done. Maybe you did a laser chest when you should have done a laser leg, or whatever it is. I can go back to that transaction. Any way I can find that transaction, whether I go to view transactions or I go into the customer's file and go to their history to pull up the transaction, it doesn't matter. However I find the transaction, there's my transaction, I can then hit this button that says modify, and I can make changes to it. So let's say, for instance, that the change was that she didn't do a blow dry and curl, she did just a blow dry, something like that. So I could say, okay, I'm going to go to blow dry and change my description to blow dry. Maybe even the price changed. Maybe it wasn't $50. Maybe it was $35 or $35. I could change that as well. But once I've made whatever the change is, I save that. I can go through the rest of this as well. It wasn't Jessica who did the European. It was Lizette who did the European facial. And save that. Kathy got her gratuity, no problem. But it wasn't Jessica who earned this gratuity. It was Lizette who got this gratuity. And save. And continuing on, I can even change, by the way, who the client was by changing the client number. If there was a problem with the retail sale, I could change the retail as well. I'll say, oops, it wasn't Jessica who sold the BioSilver Classic, it was Lizette. And save that. Moving on, sales tax, the method of payment, I could change that. I could even change the amount that was paid. I could change any change that was given. I can change everything. And once I'm done, I just hit cancel. Remember though, every part of the transaction that you change, you must press save on. You can't make changes through all of the different pages and then hit save. You must hit save every time you'd make a change. And then the transaction will be listed the way it should have been listed originally. Kathy did the blow dry, Lizette did the European facial. Kathy did the gratuity, got a gratuity, and Lizette got a gratuity. And Lizette sold her the BioSilver Classic Ion. I had done everything under Jessica's name because that's who I thought it was, but it was actually Lizette because I'm new here, whatever the reason is. But I can make those changes. Now, making those changes can be a little bit dangerous. And what I mean by that is, it's a way that some unscrupulous clients could say, ooh, that was an expensive one. I'm going to switch that from Kathy to Catherine, and now Catherine is going to get the commission on it instead of Kathy when Kathy actually did the work. And, you know, Kathy does a couple of hundred transactions every pay period, so she probably won't even notice, and Catherine's got a few extra dollars in her pocket. Not a good idea. So modifying transactions should definitely be password protected so that only the people who have the authority to do it can do it, whether it be a manager, the owner, or if you trust your front desk person enough, the front desk person, whatever. In other words, only the people who have the right to do it should be able to do it. Highly recommended that you password protect it. Any questions on modifying a transaction before we continue? All right, I'll take by your silence the answer is no. So the next thing we're going to talk about is the points program. Did we discuss the points program last time? I'm going to say
no. I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so.
Sorry, good thing the computer's on mute, so it takes a second to get to the unmute button.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you have a question then that I missed?
Nope.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up Miss Babcock here. Ooh, she's allergic to glycerin. Good to know. Oh, Wednesday, November 1st is Michelle Babcock's birthday for 34 years. Good to know. If you have their birthday in,
reminders for birthdays like automatically through Darcy,
absolutely.
or is it through Darcy? Or is it through
Darcy? Yes. Yes.
Okay.
It is. This is not through Darcy. This is for a week before their birthday and a week after their birthday. This message will pop up. So if they come in 5 days before their birthday, it'll tell you that their birthday is coming up. If it was just a couple of days ago, it'll tell you that their birthday was just a couple of days ago, if you are keeping track of their birthday. So that little thing will come up. I didn't even know that was going to come up, but good to know. All right, so Michelle Babcock is here. Notice she has 2,793 points. Also notice her picture is here. Let's clear that. When I pull up somebody else, like Sarah here, no picture, no points. She's not part of my loyalty rewards program. So let's go to Miss Babcock. She is. And I'm going to say that she saw Christian. She got an anti-curl with haircut. She owes me $171. She has 2,793 points. I'm going to go to payment. And she would like to use her points. She owes me $171. I'm going to go here. Now, the points program can be set up two different ways, cash value or freebies. And what the difference is with freebies, if she doesn't have enough points to get it for free, she can't use her points. With cash value, however many points she has, she can use for a discount. So this says that she needs 3,600 points to get the anti-curl with haircut for free. She has 2,793, so she doesn't have enough. So let's see the way we've got it set up. I check this box, and it will let me use. So this is set up for cash value. It's going to let me use 2,793 points. She needs an additional 807. It's going to translate that into the difference. So she owed me $171. This many points that she's using is going to turn into $132.67. So she will owe me an additional $39 or $38.33 to be exact. But the fact is that by using her points this way, she's getting a big discount because she's earned a lot of points over the past. If I had it set up the other way, you don't need to know this right now. I'm just going to set it up the other way. I'm going to say do not allow partial point redemptions. She'd like to use her points. She needs 3,600. She's got 2,793. Click, not enough points for this item. So that's the freebie version. Freebie says you don't have enough points, you don't get to use it. And cash value says however many points you have, we'll use a percentage to turn that into money so that you will get a discount.
So I think I missed a little bit there. So the rewards points, this is what we're talking about. So you're saying you can just use it towards products, or is it
you can use it towards products. You can use it towards services.
Can you set it up where it can't be towards services, just products?
Yes. You can set it up so that it can only be used for products if you'd like.
Okay.
You can also, when you set it up, and we'll go through that in just a minute, because what I wanted to do first was show you how it's actually used. And by the way, their points also show up on their receipts. Whenever they get a receipt from you, whether it's emailed or printed out, it will list how many points they actually have with you as well. So now that we know how they're used, how do we actually set it up? I want you to be aware that the points program has its own class. Usually takes about an hour. And it's always one-on-one. And what I mean by that is it's not in a class like this where other people from other companies can be in there. We tell you about it in a class like this, just like I am now. And I'm going to tell you about how it's set up as well, but I'm not going to go into the details. And the reason for that is because everybody's setup is a little bit different. So what we want you to understand is how it works. And then I want you, once you have an understanding of how it works, then you put together the way you want your program to be, and then you schedule time with someone like me. We'll dial into your computer and set it up with you so that your program is set up the way you want it set up. So the actual real deep training on the loyalty program is not in this class. In this class, we're showing it to you. The other one is a one-on-one where you say, okay, now that I know how it works, I'm going to say this is the way I want it to be. Then we do it together. Okay, so let's talk about it. I'm going to go to setup. Preferences, general. Again, not something you need to remember right now because when you're doing your one-on-one, we'll do it together. And first get rid of that. Now, my enable points program, this must be checked. Even if it was already checked, I simply uncheck it and check it again if I want to get into this. Now, this might look a little bit confusing, but again, don't worry because we will go through it with you when you know how you want your system set up. But in this window, we're able to say what our earnings ratios are, and what our redemption ratios are. And we can apply them to services or groups of services or products or categories of products or individual products. We can assign them to referrals, so you get points for giving us a referral, things like that. And you can do it really, really basic. Just say, you know what, my earnings ratio is going to be 1-to-1, which is the most common. $1 earns you a point. So $1 earns you a point. That means that if you spend $50 with me, you get 50 points. Spend $500 with me, you get 500 points. Really simple.
What about clients that buy packages? Because I've had this happen before, where they buy packages and they're spending like thousands of dollars, and then when it comes up time, it's like you have like $200 worth of points. Oh, I guess it'd just be the same thing. It's just
if you don't want it on packages, then you're not going to have it on it. If you want it on it, then they're going to earn points for the money they spent with you, which they can then turn around to use to get discounts or freebies from you. But again, remember, I said $1 equals 1 point for earning, but not necessarily for redemption. For redemption, maybe I make it 20-to-1 or 50-to-1 or 10-to-1. If I made it 10-to-1, then that would mean they would get 100 points for spending $100. Let's say they buy service A, which is $100, so they earn 100 points. But because my redemption is 10-to-1, they would need 1,000 points to get that free $100 service. Basically, buy 10, get 1 free, kind of. So, but the point is that your redemption can be whatever you want it to be. If you make it 50-to-1, then that's basically 2%. If they spent $1,000 with you, they'd get 1,000 points, sure, but 2% of that means that they're only actually getting about $50 worth of value for that $1,000 that they spent. If it was 10-to-1, they'd get $100 worth of value for that $1,000 that they spent. Whatever you want it to be. And I just did my math wrong, but you get the point. Okay, so you can set it up blanketly. So it will apply to all of your groups and all of your services, all of your products, things like that. Or you're able to, like I said before, set it up just on products, or set it up just on services, or just set it up on groups of services or certain categories of products. So there's lots of different ways for you to micromanage it. This brush will earn you these points. This brush won't earn you any points. This brush costs this many points. This brush doesn't cost any points at all, or you can't use points, I mean. It can't use points on it. You can do things like that as well. So you can really make it very complete. So you get, as I said, once you've determined exactly how you want it set up, then that's when you do the one-on-one hour-long loyalty rewards with me, because then what happened, or with any trainer, but then what, in that case, we dial into your computer. You've told us exactly how you want it set up, or we work with you on the phone with you while we set it up with you to make sure that when we're done, the system is set up the way you wanted it set up. So along with setting up the points program, we now have the rewards membership set up. Now you might go into your system and say, I can't find rewards membership setup. It goes from series to client attributes, and this is missing. And it will be missing unless you have activated your points program. Now, does that mean that you have to use a points program? No. No. You cannot set up a points program at all and still have the rewards membership set up, but only if the points program has the check in the box, even if you're not using it. But why is this important? Because by setting up a points program, that does not automatically give that points program to everybody. You can have an unlimited number of memberships set up, and some of them might include points, and some of them may not. It's totally up to you. So I'm going to show you right now 3 different memberships. Now I've got a whole bunch, but I'm going to show you bronze, silver, and gold. Just going to focus on those 3, even though I've got others here, and you can name them anything you want. But I'm going to go to my bronze membership, and I'm going to say my bronze membership is free. Doesn't cost a dime. And it gives no service discounts, and it gives no retail discounts, and you get no free comp service. However, it does earn points. So I checked that box. Membership earns points. And it gives no earnings options for additional services, etc., and none of this is checked either. So the only thing that the bronze membership does is earn points. So I could say to people, hey, would you like to join our points program? Because I think of it like a loyalty program. You're going to get people to come back to you. It's free. You're going to earn points for every time you spend money with us, and then you'll be able to use those points to get discounts or freebies from us. Okay, so maybe people sign up for that. Then I've got my silver membership that I created. And I said my silver membership is $10 a month. So to be a silver member, you have to pay me $10 a month. And by being a silver member, you get 2.5% off all services. You get 2% off all retail. You get no free comp services. However, you do earn points, but you also earn points at an additional ratio of 2 to 1. So what does that mean? Well, that means that if a bronze member spends $100 and they would have earned 100 points, a silver member would spend the same $100 and they would have earned 200 points, as long as the things that they're paying for, of course, earn points, because they're getting an additional ratio. That's the way I've set it up. You don't have to. And then down here, the service earnings options is also blank. So silver of $10 a month simply gives a discount on services, a discount on retail, and earns points at an additional ratio. So they earn points faster than a bronze member. That's what silver is to me. Then I go to my gold. And I said gold is $100 a month, $100 a month. And it gives you a 5% discount on services, a 5% discount on retail, and every time you walk through my door, as long as you're a gold member, you will never be charged for a bang trim. If you get a bang trim, it just automatically zeroes it out because you are a gold member. You just get it for free. As often as you like. You can come in every single day to get a little bit of your bang trimmed. You can choose any service at all that you offer as a comp service. But that is not a one-time thing. A comp service means they don't pay for this service whenever they come in. I've actually seen some places use this for parking. Next, we've got, again, I said my gold membership earns points. And I've said my gold membership earns points at a 3 to 1 ratio. What does that mean? That means that you spend $100 with me, you get 300 points instead of the 100 points, because I've got it set at 3 to 1 for both services and retail. Again, totally up to you. But down here, I've said another thing that a gold member gets is every month they get 1 free French manicure because they're a gold member. They get it automatically every month. All of your services will be listed here, so you can choose anything at all. And now I can use these. Earns in month of purchase. If I check this box, earns in month of purchase, then that means that as soon as they become a gold member, they get a free French manicure if they'd like it. If that is not checked, then they must be a gold member for a full month before they get their free French manicure. Checked, they get it instantly. Unchecked, they get it, they earn it after a month. Then I have my services accumulate. If this is checked and they get a free French manicure, if it's November and they don't use their free French manicure, then in December they will have 2 to use. And if they don't use those, then in January they'll have 3 to use because services accumulate. But if I don't check that, then it's a use it or lose it. If it's November and they don't use this in December, they still only have 1. They don't use that in January, they still only have 1. They get 1 a month, no more, because you don't have this checked. I'm going to skip this one here because we're still building it, and then this one can be redeemed towards other services. If I check that, then they will be able to say, you know what? I don't want to get a French manicure. I want to get something else. So I would like to apply the value of the French manicure to something else. If that is checked, they can do that. If it is not checked, they can't. Okay? So that's setting up different types of memberships. And when you are in the client file, it will show you. For instance, she's a gold member, and she's earned a total of 18,253 points. She's used 15,460, and her balance is 2,793. And of course, in the point of sale, as I already showed you, it will bring up her picture here. If you don't have a picture of her, it'll simply be a mannequin head. But by having that box fill in here, you know instantly that they're a member. And it will show how many points they have. 0 points, 2,793 points, whatever it may be. That's the points program. Any questions on that before we continue?
No.
No.
Right.
Oh, actually, I did have a question. I did have a question. Sorry. Oh.
Just ask your question when you're ready.
Sorry, my phone started ringing. So sorry.
Talking about the points program.
Matt?
Yes, I'm here.
Hi, sorry. Okay, no, sorry, because UPS came in and then the phones were ringing, so she's a little, she's a little busy right now. I told you when it rains, it pours when it comes here.
Sure.
So those rewards, those loyalty rewards, it's not just for the membership. That can be set up for every transaction a client comes and does, correct?
Yes, as long as they are some type of member, even if you call it points. So they be, now you've assigned them up to the points program. If they are not given some type of membership that says that it earns points, then that client does not earn points no matter what.
Okay, so we would have to set up in the membership portion of it for the reward system, because the system that we use now automatically creates those points for every client that comes in. So every client that we add to our database in the other system automatically gets points for every dollar that they spend with us.
And you can certainly do that as long as it's not automatic, though. Every client in your system, you could give the points program to. Like I said, it can be free. So you can just sign them up to it, and then they're on it. But if you don't sign them up to it, they're not on it. They don't automatically join your points program just for coming in and getting a massage or whatever it is.
Okay, so we would have to assign that to the clients then to be part of this points program, part of where the membership part is.
That's right. Well, you don't go into the membership part. You go, you sell it to them right here. So in the point of sale, Sarah came in and you want to sell her a membership, and I want to sell her the gold membership, so it's $100. Let me clear that. And if I chose Amy here and went to membership and sold her the bronze membership, it's free.
Yes. Okay.
All right, clear that. Excuse me. All right. Any other questions before I continue?
No, I think that's all that we had for the points.
All right, and like I said, I'm not teaching you how to do the points.
No.
Showing you how it works.
No, and I wrote that down for the points anyways for the like one-on-one setup to call back, right?
That's right. After you have decided exactly how you want it to work.
Yeah, same with the customer service to call for the graphs for the social, to set up the Facebook and Instagram and stuff. So I put my notes down to call.
Excellent. Okay, then the next thing we're going to talk about is promotions. Now, everybody thinks of promotions as advertising. Not everybody, but most. Most people think, you know what, if I'm doing a promotion, that means I'm advertising. Maybe it's a radio ad, or maybe it's a coupon that I send out in the newspaper, or maybe it's a Facebook post or Twitter post that says, hey, we're offering 15% off, blah, 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 this weekend only, or something like that. People think of promotions that way, but people often forget that promotions are much more easily tracked and taken care of if the software is also aware of the promotion. So how do we do that? We have 4 different types of promotions. We're going to go to Other. And under Other, I've got Operator Promo, Service Promo, Retail Promo, and Rewards Promos. So I'm going to go to my Operator Promo first. And the reason I'm doing that is because the first 3 are all very similar. So what I do to create a promotion is first I give it a name, whatever name I'd like. So I'm going to call this, I don't know, let's say Christina's Promo. Christina's Promo. And I give it effective dates. And I can say it's for this weekend only, starting Friday the 10th to Sunday the 12th. And then I choose my group. Now, I could do this for a lot of staff members, but maybe I just want to do it for one. So I can go with all groups, or I could choose a specific group or something like that, but let's say all groups. And then I choose Christina. I don't actually have a Christina in here, so I'll choose Christian. And then I can apply my discount code. If I've already created one, it's here for me to choose. And I've got one here called Christian's Promo. If I don't have one, I can go and create one. And then after I've created my promo, it will be listed here. I mean, my coupon, it will be listed, and I can then choose it. So what I'm saying here is that anybody who sees Christina, I'm just pretending because it's Christian, anybody who sees Christina for any service on November 10th, 11th, or 12th, they're going to get whatever this coupon is. And maybe this coupon's 15% off. So now it's time for me to advertise. Once I save this, my software is aware of it. So now I can say, hey, come visit Christina, our brand new blah, blah, blah. Get any service with Christina this weekend only and get 15% off, 20% off, 25% off, whatever it is. Your software is aware of it. So I don't even have to tell my front desk staff.
Where did you do that? Sorry, I missed that part.
That's okay. That's okay. I went to Other Operator Promotion Setup. This is based on your staff. So I'll grab one that I've already created here, like Abigail's October. From October 1st to October 31st of 2016, any hair service that Abigail gives gets this automatic coupon applied to it. Choose another one that I've already made, Abigail's Threading. Anything that Abigail does, because it's all groups, will get this automatic discount assigned to it. So I can do it, but I can also do it with multiple people. Like I said before, I can create a brand new one. So let's say we'll call this massage and give it a date range. Maybe it's for the whole month from November 1st to November 30th. And then my group then would just be massage. And then I could say everybody but Abigail. And then I could choose a specific promotion like my massage. But again, this is based on my staff. So when I market it, I say, come in and get a massage anytime during November and see anybody but Abigail and get 20% off. If I had Abigail checked, I could say, see anybody for a massage and get, but I could also do something like this and say, see Christian for a massage and get this discount. Because it's only on one. This is based on your staff. Now, Other service promo, very similar, but instead of being based on your staff member, this is based on the service. So I could go here to like my massage promo and say from December 7th to December 14th of whatever year you put in, and then choose my group, say choose massage, and all of my massage services will appear. And I just check off the ones that I want to apply. So then I could come in and say, then I can advertise and say, come in between December 7th and December 14th and get an automatic 20% discount off all hot stone massages or Swedish massages. It's no longer based on who's doing it. It's based on the actual service. So very similar to the other one, but this one's based on service. Next, Other retail promo. Very similar again. Give it a name, effective dates. You can choose your vendor, your manufacturer, your category. You can go with all vendors, all manufacturers, all categories. So you could say buy any product this weekend only and get 10% off, or you could go by a very specific vendor and category. So I could do something like, choose something here like my brushes promo that I've already created, put in my date range, choose my vendor, my manufacturer, my category. So everything from Marlowe Beauty Supply is going to get this discount, or all the brushes from Marlowe's Beauty Supply is going to get this, whatever it is I want it, however it is I want to set it up. The nice thing about this is that when somebody comes in during that date range and gets a service or a product, or they see a particular person that's being promoted, it automatically applies the discount. They don't have to hand you the coupon and you enter the coupon code. You can do that. That's another way of doing the system. But as far as the promotion goes, if you've got the promotion running, it'll apply it automatically. Okay? Finally, we have the fourth one. Now, this one's different. This is if you're using the Loyalty Rewards membership program with points. In this case, I get to give additional points. So I can create a new factor like 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, whatever. I like to go with 2 and say something like, for Mother's Month, the month of May, we're celebrating mothers this month. And so come in and get a pregnancy massage and earn double points. Or maybe we go with a products and we say this weekend only, all L'Oreal products are double points or triple points. So then if a bronze member buys a $10 L'Oreal product, they would have normally gotten 10 points, but because I've got my promotion running and it's a factor of 2, they would get 20 points for that. My silver member who would have gotten 20 points would get 40. And my gold member who would have gotten 30 points would get 90. Or excuse me, 60, because it's double points. If you did triple points or quadruple points, then it'll do the math that way as well. So during your promos for points, you can say double points, triple points this weekend only, double points all next week on these services or on these products, etc. Okay? Any questions on the promotions before we continue?
No.
All right, and the last thing that we're going to talk about is the fortune teller. I'm going to go here to reports, and I'm going to go to my goals. And I can set up my goals for my staff, and I can view those goals at any time, but I also have something here called the fortune teller. That's what we're going to talk about here. The fortune teller is broken up into 2 pieces. The top piece, this is scenario 1, current, and the bottom piece, scenario 2, what if. First, I get to choose one of my staff members, or I can click on all operators to choose everybody. By choosing that, what it does is it shows me my trends based on my last 3 months worth of transactions. And what it's telling me here under current, I can't change any of this. This is all real numbers. So what it's saying is, look, if your trends continue the way they have been for the last 3 months, then this is what your next year is going to look like. Down here with the what if, I can make changes, subtle changes. My number of active customers, 45 instead of 41, enter. And it just changed my total sales and my business impact. My active client retention, I want to get it from 40 to 45% as well. That just changed my total sales and my impact. I get 2.3 new customers a month. What if I got 3 new customers a month? The point is that when your consultant or you sit down to look at your numbers and say, we could be doing better in this, or we could be doing better in that, before you invest your time, your effort, or your money, think about what the changes you're going to make, what those should do to your actual numbers. If you say the change I'm going to make is to focus on bringing new customers in, how many new customers do you expect it to do? And then change your new per month to that number and see what it does. If what you're going to do is cost a lot of time, a lot of effort, and maybe a couple of $1,000s to make these changes, and then you plug in the number that you expect to see based on the changes you make, maybe that change gives you back $8,000. But then again, maybe it gives you back $1,000. And if you spend $2,000 doing it and hours of your time, it may not be worth it. So the point is that you get to see your return on investment of effort, time, or money before you actually do it. So you can plug in numbers that you think are realistic based on the changes you expect to make. And then see if those changes turn into a real benefit to you.
Sorry, Matt, forgot that it was unmuted.
That's all right. It's not a problem at all. And don't forget.
I stepped out because I had to take a call and I missed it, and I was just asking her.
Yeah,
not a problem at all.
I'll catch up with her.
Listen, guys, don't forget I'm recording this. So you're going to get this whole class sent to you in an email.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So we're actually done with our class.
Okay.
If anybody has any specific questions that they have, so maybe something you were hoping I was going to cover that I didn't, or maybe a question on something I did cover, I'm open to those questions.
Sorry, Matt. I wanted to play with the software a little bit because I'm more of like a touchy-feely kind of learner. Hands-on. Okay.
Touchy-feely. Oh God, Matt, you must be great.
Let me ask. The person who just said that, was that Danielle or?
Yeah, that was Danielle.
Okay, Danielle, if you would like a one-on-one, you can schedule that, and instead of doing it like this, we can dial into your system so that you can be the one in control of the mouse, and I can tell you where to go, and we can do things like that, just like we do when we set up your loyalty program.
That will work.
That'll be nice and touchy-feely for you.
Nuts and touchy-feely. I'm down for that.
Any other questions at all?
No, I think.
Okay, would you like me to email this to you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to send this to Christina@Sion.com.
No, Christina at Dakarah.
Okay, Christina at Dakarah. I've got that one as well.
Yeah,
Not a problem at all.
Info at
Oh, you would like me to
Dakarah.
also send it to you, Danielle? So that's info at?
Yes, info at Dakarah.
Then I'll send it to both. No problem at all. It does take a little while to convert. So you should have this within, I would say, anywhere from the next 2 hours to 5 hours. But before end of business today, you'll have it.
Yeah, no worries. No worries. We're doing the Darcy training, which I think starts now. I don't know if that's you who's training us or not.
It is me, and it does start in about 20 minutes, a little less than that.
Okay,
Oh, okay.
record. This is gonna be recorded as well.
Yes, it will.
Okay, are you able to send that one also to Danielle? I mean, sorry, info at Dakarah.
Yeah, just remind me at the end of that class. I'll ask the very same question at the end of the class. If anybody that's in class would like it emailed to them.
Okay, perfect.
All right. Have a great day, ladies, and you'll see this email link
I'll
to
be
you.
on the next one. Yeah, I'll be on the next one. So.
All right, great.
When does that start? Because I got the email saying that it starts at 2, my time 2, anyways.
Okay, let's see when the Darcy one is. Let's go to our website. Support training classes.
11:30 a.m. your time, 12:30, which is 2 to 3. Oh, it would be 2:30 my time then.
Okay, so yeah, November 6th, we just did the advanced class. Darcy Marketing would be at 2:30 your time.
2:30. Okay, no, that's perfect because I just want to step out for a quick second and use the bathroom.
Oh wait, that can't be right, can it? Because no, that can't be right because the online booking class is at 3 o'clock your time. So I'm doing my math wrong. So that would be 11:30, 12:30, 1:32. No, that's right. That's not 3 o'clock. That's 4 o'clock. Okay, yes, so that's right. 2:30 your time for Darcy Marketing, 4 o'clock for the online booking class.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so we'll see you in a little bit.
Just a minute. All right. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Okay.